Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, broadcasting live from Lagos. A quick reminder of our top stories now. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project drags the federal and state governments to the International Labour Organization over unpaid salaries. Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission asks governors to be more prudent in the administration of governance. The Nigeria-British Chamber of Commerce make a case of economic diversification through trade and industry for the growth of the Nigerian economy. In Charleston, AME Church holds first service since racist killings. Do remember that all our top stories can be found on our website, is channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. When you're done downloading, we do urge you to please interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android, iOS, and Windows platforms. If you have pictures or videos to share with us, simply tap on the Channels TV app on your device. Swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu and follow the instructions there. Well, here are some pictures that you sent to our Eyewitness portal. And let's begin tonight with this picture sent in from Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, showing cows on a major road. Now, our Eyewitness reporter says that this is causing untold hardship on the motorists and appeals that cattle rearing on the roads should be discouraged. And it's a season of rains, and the resultant effect is floods in some places. From the Victoria Garden City here in Lagos comes this picture of a flooded street. Our Eyewitness reporter says that motorists who try to avoid the flooded area caused a heavy traffic gridlock on this picture that you're looking at. And from Mushin, also in Lagos, comes this photograph of a flooded road as a result of the rains and the bad shape of the road. Our Eyewitness reporter says that cars get stuck in the road, thereby causing traffic. He's calling on the relevant authorities to fix the road to ease movement of both pedestrians and motorists. And from Alagbole, K2 in Ogun State comes this picture of a flooded road as well, which our Eyewitness reporter says is as a result of the rains, an ongoing project there. He says residents are appealing to the relevant authorities to complete the road to ease the hardship residents go through on that very road. And finally, from Benin City, the Edo State capital, comes this picture of a flooded road as well, which our Eyewitness reporter says is a result of the rains. He asked the authorities to provide a good drainage system. I want to thank you very much indeed for sending in those pictures, and we appreciate them as you keep them coming in. And remember that you can also send events as they happen around you to our Eyewitness portal. Many thanks indeed. Well, moving on to other stories now. The last is yet to be heard about the federal government's ban on the consumption of illicit gin in some parts of the country. All this follows the deaths recorded in Ondo and River States after the consumption of the locally made strong drink. Our correspondent Loretta Chogo reports that traders of the product in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State, have described the ban as totally unnecessary.
In April this year, an alarm about a strange disease hits the town of Oderele in Ondo State. The locals turn to their gods to try to appease them, but more casualty is recorded. Deaths and blindness have taken its toll on the people. However, after thorough research, medical experts discover that victims had consumed a poisoned local gin known as ogogoro. Methanol is found in the drink and confirmed injurious to the body system. Just few months after that incident, another number of deaths is recorded in River State, South Nigeria. This time, the death toll rises to 66. Victims are said to have consumed dog meat and the locally brewed gin across 4 local government areas in the state: Ahoda, Gokana, Bonny Island, and Obiakpo. Brewers are alleged to have introduced ethanol, methanol, and formalin in brewing process.
Our recommendations are that we want you to help us, the members of the press, to help members of the public to desist from the consumption of unregistered, locally produced spirits, ogogoro, and the proliferation of unregistered bitters.
That announcement by the Director General of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, isn't going down well with traders and buyers of the drink in the Niger Delta. In Yenagoa, Bayelsa State, the people say the ban is a threat to their livelihood. The traders stop us from getting any recording of the local drink.
This kai kai, since we dey sell, this is our kai kai. Since my mama born me, with my father born me, we dey sell this kai kai till now. Kai kai never kill anybody. He never do anybody for my life when I know.
As we come this time, descend this kai kai, now he carry train us, carry feed us. Like my father, we did 25 children. Now that way he carry train us. Kai kai they kill person, me I don't know. Now when me to the yes, kai kai they kill person. For this Ogora, what would they say? And then they kill human being.
The local drink is sold for as low as 20 naira for a shot of 30 ml. Traders say the higher sales is usually made during the rainy season as people drink to keep warm. Loretta Chiogo, Channels Television News.
Well, now joining us on the news at 10 to discuss further on the illicit gin is Dr. Oliver Ezechi. He is the chief researcher at the Nigerian Institute for Medical Research. I want to thank you so much indeed for coming on the news at 10. Now, the cause of the deaths has been established to be ethanol, and we have seen that happen in the southwest of Nigeria as well as the south-south in Bayelsa State. What is the safe ratio, if I may ask, of ethanol in the production of gin?
Yes, I think I need to draw a demarcation here. There's a difference between ethanol and methanol. What is known scientifically, we've proven, that kills instantly or that causes blindness is the methanol. But what happens in those areas is that they mix the local brew with methanol. And it's actually the methanol content of those drinks that kills and also causes blindness. The local brew, usually from raffia palm or from, usually contains ethanol and not methanol. And usually you need to take volumes and volumes of ethanol before you have to the level, the dose that will be lethal. But with methanol, which in the body is degraded to formic acid, which is actually lethal. With just a little.
But by formic acid, you mean the?
Yes, formic acid. Yes.
The formalin that is used to.
Yes, formaldehyde. Yes.
To preserve dead bodies.
Yes. So with that, you just need a little quantity. 20 mils is enough to cause blindness, and then lethal dose within 48 hours.
As you said, it could be ethanol, but taken in large quantity. How dangerous is that?
Yeah, but usually we need to understand that usually when you take alcohol in large quantities, because of the body's, either you get intoxicated and you stop. For those ones who are slow accelerators, who are unable to metabolize very fast. So it's likely that acts as a protective mechanism from somebody to be getting intoxicated with heavy and volumes. But with methanol, it's different. You just need to take a little dose. And then it causes, it gets to a dangerous level and causes other blindness, then seizures, and then to eventual death within 48 to 72 hours.
Are there other factors that could enhance the concentration of methanol or ethanol, as you put it, in gin? Yeah,
remember, when you look at the local brew, usually from the raffia palm, I said, and it goes through processes. However, because of the lack of business ethics in Nigeria, people want to make quick money. They might not go through the entire process of distillation. And also, some of them might produce because they don't want to. It's very rigorous. They don't want to go through that process. They just get a little quantity and then add a commercial undrinkable methanol to it to increase the volume so they can make gains. So the principal issue there is they need to be well regulated. We need to put out there public enlightenment on the dangers of consumption of undrinkable alcohol. And I think these are some of the things we need to do. Yeah.
Does fermentation, for example, play a major role in affecting the chemical proportions of the different elements used to produce this illicit gene? Does fermentation affect it?
No, not necessarily. I think we need to. Usually, the ethanol is derived from natural products, while the methanol is usually derived from chemically. So they are not actually, they look exactly the same. If you place them side by side, they look exactly the same.
Well, you mean people go out actually to literally buy what you call it a methylated spirit,
Yes,
that white one?
Yes, as white one.
That medically used one.
Yeah, medically used.
And mix it.
Yes, and some of that one that use industrially. Because, you know, you produce industrially. So it can be produced in large quantities very fast. And they use them to dilute, to add on to the local brew. And then we reduces the cost. So somebody can with 20 naira and get intoxicated fast. Why you need to take bottles and bottles of beer before you get high?
Is there any word you would like to say to people who are engaged in this illicit brew manufacture, such that they stay within safe limits?
Yes, I think my advice, one, is that people should, for anything you do, the ethics of what you do is important. We should not look at just the money, but we need to look at the processes, go through the entire processes, and we should not cut corners.
So where does this take your research to next in a bid to give a better insight and understanding to brews that are made in a confined, standardized area, talking about the breweries, as to the genes that have been killing people?
Yes, that just takes us to what Nigerian Institute of Medical Research did recently with support from considered breweries. We conducted an alcohol survey among pregnant women in Lagos State, which this one will be disseminating. And we find out that a lot of people don't even think that alcohol intake is dangerous in pregnancy. People take this, what they call ogogoro pepper soup, mixing the ogogoro with pepper soup, and pregnant women drink this. So I think we need to put it out there that there's no safe limit to alcohol in pregnancy. And people should actually, that it's actually safer to take the brew that we are sure of in terms of the processes, quality, than that you don't know, that go through a local fermentation process and you don't know what's actually there. But I want to also emphasize that if you go through those local fermentation processes thoroughly, you get ethanol. That percentage is between about 30 to 60%, which is not as dangerous as the chemical industrial alcohol, methanol, which should be avoided.
I'm afraid we're going to have to leave it at that. I want to thank you so much indeed. Dr. Oliver Ezechi, the Chief Researcher at the Nigeria Institute for Medical Research. Thank you so much indeed for your thoughts.
Yeah, my pleasure.
We're going on a short break now. Still ahead on the news at 10. Sickle cell reports, and we're getting anemia costs one life and saving many in the process. Stay with us.